It's had many names, but only one NFL team over the years. We're at the home of the Dolphins, Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, Florida. Fairbairn ready to get this one going. And here we go from Miami. Marvin Mims now to return it. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So their offense out now to get this game started. It's 1st and 10. Opening play, and Bo will throw. Taken in by Likely. And he's going to get stopped right around the 45-yard line. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And the Broncos will have a first down. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Man in motion here. It's the first carry for the Auburn rookie. He swarms in the middle. This gets maybe a yard. Hit applied by Bradley Chubb. Manages just a yard on first down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Nix. Sideline throws wheeled in by Likely. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
I know I can sound like a broken record when I talk about timing and getting the ball out on time and on rhythm, but these outcuts, it is so imperative, and the best of them make it look oh so easy.
And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. That's complete. It's Javonte Williams. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver first.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
And he takes this one in for the Denver touchdown. The Broncos take a 6-0 lead on their opening drive. Javonte Williams, the touchdown. That one right down the middle. And the Broncos will jump out to a 7-0 lead. The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. He fields it from the 8. He lost the football. And they steal it back on the return. And they stop him before he gets much on the return.
These guys are flying down the field. It reminds me of the guys at Braveheart. But different than Braveheart, these guys got two things on their mind. Number one, get the returner down. And number two, try to separate the ball if they can. It's rare that it happens, but boy, is it big when it does.
Throwing on first down, Nix. And he'll score. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos pull out in front further, 13-zip. Now they'll try the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Broncos drive out to an early 14-0 lead. The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. Has this at the 6. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Keep pushing the ball down the field.
Opening carry for Devon Achane. A flag's down as he stops. Looks like this one's on the offense. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. And holding penalty is going to make 1st down twice as tough. They're 20 from the marker to start things out. Two and now from the gun. This is caught by Jalen Waddle. And he'll be touchdown after a big play.
You know what I like about that kid? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here. They will build big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and ducking the ball.
Out of the shotgun, a give to Achane. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
They go play action with Tagovailoa. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. And we all saw it. Flag came out just before that one fell incomplete. They may still get some big yards out of this one. Defense, no doubt, still recovering from that interference call, Brock, but they've got to buckle down here. It's 1st and goal. Running it after the penalty. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. First shot gets him 5. Still a couple of looks remaining. It's 2nd and goal. Several here.
What was supposed to move the chains or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead? Well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
They've held him out twice. Here we go. 3rd and goal. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. And this is caught. Touchdown, Miami. The Dolphins finish up their opening drive. Devon Achane with the touchdown. Well, great work there, Brock. They weathered the storm, and now they've gotten themselves right back into this ball game.
Anybody who's played this game has been here before. The game doesn't start the way you want. You're in a big hole, and all you can do is climb out of it. And the words of Pete Carroll resonate. It's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. On the return, here's Mims. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. Ball at the 33 for 1st down. Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6. This finds likely. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
I'm sure, Coach, your play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Williams now on 1st and 10. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Oh, he gets clobbered behind the line.
That's how to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth yet. Have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
A big play, 23 yards to move those chains. They'll come up 1st and 10. From the gun, a carry by Williams. And they'll bring him down to put an end to this opening quarter. So before they can set up for another play, we've hit the end of the first quarter. It's a 14-7 game. Back to Hard Rock Stadium right after this. Time for our second quarter. Let's see if the Broncos can capitalize in the red zone. Nix with it on first. Gets it towards the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of the passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
On second down, a run with Williams. He loses the football. And this is going to stay with the offense as he makes the recovery. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Nix from the gun. And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up. Now we'll see a field goal try by the Broncos. This 32 yards out on the right hash. And it is good. No problems there on the shorter attempt. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Achan. It's a pickup of 14 yards as the chains reset.
Easily had the yardage for a first, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
Going to the ground again on first. And they bring him down, but there's a flag on the field. A game they were pretty happy with goes away via the penalty. And now we're going to wait to see how they respond. Double the distance to go after that holding call. It's now 1st and 20. Out of the gun, Tagovailoa. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. 2nd down coming up.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
It's now 3rd down.
Shotgun snap now to Tagovailoa. He's going to try to drop it in deep right. And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete. Couldn't connect with Tyreek Hill. And now they're staring at 4th and long. So the Dolphins readying for the punt. Fair catch called for and made at the 35-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And the Broncos get set to take over. 1st down, ball at the 36. Here's Williams to start the drive. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
On third down, here's Nix. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up fourth down.
It's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on third down? And it turns the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
Hunter takes the field on fourth down, and he sends this one flying. Secures this at the 17. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be Dolphins football. They're out and set. First and 10. A-Chain on the inside give. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run. And that sets up 2nd and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. From the 24. Completes this one to Hill. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
They motion Waddle over left. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their first. And they'll have 2 left to work with here in the first half. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34.
All right, fellas, listen up.
Tua looking to throw. Heaves this one for the back of the end zone. To the corner of the end zone, but incomplete. Oh, he made the catch, but didn't get down in bounds.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You've got to shake it off and keep on firing.
Second and 10 now. Complete out to the right. And they haul him down just a foot or 2 shy of the red zone. A new set of downs awaits him. Here's 1st and 10. Running with A-Chain out of the gun. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Ball's out! The ball's out! You lost it! And no turnover. It's going to stay with the offense. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out. We've hit the 2-minute warning now at Hard Rock. The Dolphins driving ahead. 4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They'll break the huddle and come up on 1st and goal. Here's Tua. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Broncos get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. Inside the red zone, they could feel how tight they were to the goal line. And then bam, Brock, they're off the field after a clutch interception.
I tell you what, football's the ultimate team game, but this is a situation where an individual picks up all 10 of his guys out there on the field. Somebody else is going to pick up the tab at dinner tonight for him.
And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. Offense set for a 1st and 10. Here's Nix. He lofts one deep, center of the field. And this is going to end up incomplete. He really aired it out there on 1st down, but just couldn't make the connection. Cortland Sutton, the man he was after. And it sets up 2nd down. Nix looking to throw. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw, but it's incomplete.
Well, he needed another second to deliver the throw he wanted to. You got to give a lot of credit that time, Kate, to the pass rush for getting in and forcing him to dish it before he was ready.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. First punt win 45 yards. This looks considerably further. He takes this in on his side of midfield. And he's brought down before the return gets far. Officially a 55-yard launch. And they'll get ready to go on offense. 1st down, here's Tua. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And this is going to be a Miami touchdown. The Dolphins making a 1-score game before halftime. It's a Jalen Waddle touchdown. I love plays like this, Brock. Sometimes you just got to ask your dude, show me what you got, man. Show off those wheels, and he did just that.
Yeah, beauty in simplicity, right?
Yep.
Now, when you run that fly route, you got to win right from the jump. And you got to protect yourself from the sideline, too. Don't get pushed to the boundary. Give your quarterback room to throw it up, and you can find pay dirt.
Johnson with a return here. Returns looking good so far. They track him down, but a nice return in the end there, Brock. He's out to the 38. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for 1st and 10. We send a man in motion. On 1st and 10, here's Nix. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact. It gets home. But, of course, we know it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field in more than a second or two.
He's forward, gets a couple of yards. Play brought to an end by Jalen Ramsey. Miami calls a timeout here. It's 2nd. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Let's see what they went with on 3rd down. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He lets one fly deep downfield. In disaster averted, he knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. They're out now, ready to punt it. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. Takes it in at the 21. It's a nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. Looks like he might break it for a minute, but still a good 14 yards on the return. And they'll take over with minimal time remaining in the half. First and 10 now. Here's Tagovailoa. He lofts it deep left. That is incomplete. Down to 13 seconds left. Trying to connect to a Tyreek Hill there. And we'll see what they do here on second down. Throwing again. Here's Tua. Fits it through the middle. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Just before halftime, we get a timeout taken. Not much time left in the half, so the kicking team out on first down. A 49-yard in front of them here. Everly's kick is good. And that's going to tie us up just before halftime.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
He's hauled down on what is the final play of our first half. So we're through 2 quarters now. Still a half of football to be played. We'll be back with more of the NFL on EA Sports. Well, that first half, certainly an interesting one. Kate Scott, Brock Heward with you as we get back and see what the second half has in store for us. Well, we're set up for an incredible second half, all tied as we kick it away here in quarter number 3. Here's a return from the 7. And a good return here as he gets it out past the 35.
Well, we got ourselves quite a game today, a tie game coming into this third quarter. And what you're looking for is a little instant jolt of momentum coming out of the locker room. And that return might just be the spark that leads to that momentous fire.
And he's brought down after a nice gain and a first down.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great block in the spring of guys hitting blocks downfield, and a back who can show off his wheels.
He's throwing deep to the left side. This is caught inside the 15. They rip off big, check the field, and it sets him up with first and goal.
One thing we don't have in football is we don't have that radar gun. But if we did, Kate, this is the kind of throw, when you throw it that deep outside the numbers, that requires a serious fastball.
And this is going to be a Miami touchdown. The Dolphins take the lead right away in half number 2. Tyreek Hill, the touchdown. Fairbairn connects on the extra point. And the Dolphins break that tie and now lead by 7. Fairbairn has it all set up for the kickoff. On the return, here's Mims. Finds some space, he's past the 30. They'll begin from the 36 as the returner's brought down. Good starting field position for the Broncos as they get ready for first and 10. Shotgun snap to Nix. That's into the hands of Franklin. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line.
Okay, when Bill Walsh was implementing the drag route with the 49ers in the 80s, it sounded the same way as it did with Mike Holmgren and me with the Seahawks in the 2000s versus man on the drag route, run away. You see zone coverage, settle down, give your quarterback his numbers, and you can find a completion just like that.
Give to Williams from the gun. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. And some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No third down required now. You really want those throws to be like clockwork for your offense. Every team needs to hit passes in that short to intermediate range to effectively move the ball.
Again on second and 10, Nix. Pass taken in by Sutton. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down. Up the gut they go with Williams. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain. Hit applied by Bradley Chubb. No gain there that time, and it's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Nix. Flushed out of the pocket. He's keeping it. And he's going to get it out past the 40 before he goes out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right, they win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
Buys time, rolling right. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the defense comes through to back them up ahead of 4th down. Now we'll see a field goal try by the Broncos. This from the right hash and a considerable distance. Online, but not enough juice. It's no good short. And the deficit stays at 7.
Well, once you get out beyond 50 yards, everything in the process has got to be perfect. It's a good effort, but it's going to wind up off the mark.
On first down, they're going to start out with Achane. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10. He run it from the gun with Wright. And not much doing. He stopped quickly. Moving quickly, trying to get set again. Throwing, here's Tagovailoa on 3rd. He's going to loft one deep to the left. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
That play is so impressive on so many levels, not just because it saves a touchdown, Kate. He had to time that perfectly to knock it free without drawing a flag or let him establish possession for the score. That is so, so good.
And this punt works out. It's going to cross the 20, be touchdown at the 16-yard line. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. They'll begin with a quick completion to the right side. They get an even 10 on that play. And that'll be good for a Denver first. Throwing here, Nix. Escapes the pocket. Did not like what he was seeing, Brock, and he just hurls this one away.
Look at the coverage on that play, Kate. I love that. That is textbook defense right there. When the quarterback escapes the pocket, and you got to find somebody. You got to go get sticky on your offensive guy. It's exactly what the secondary did, and it forces the throwaway.
And his drive forward halted after a couple of yards. Terrell Bernard tracking that one down. A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Got Williams, and it's complete.
Awareness. Kate, you hear me and so many others talk about it a lot with quarterbacks, but it's critical for every unit on a football field. And for the defense right there, to have an awareness of knowing where the marker was and to make sure that completion wasn't going to move the chains.
And some nice running on that return. He gets it up past the 35. He manages 13 on this punt return. And it'll be their football. The Dolphins in pretty good field position here as they come up 1st and 10. Tagovailoa now working from the gun. Oh, trying to force it into the slant. It's intercepted. He's got room to roam here. And the Broncos get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season. So it's been a bit of a mixed bag for him, partner. He does have the 3 touchdowns in this game, but also now a couple of interceptions.
You almost feel like, Kate, he's seeing most of the picture on how to attack this defense, but just not quite all of it yet. It's largely been good, as he said. Some nice touchdowns as well. But there's still a couple of these looks in coverage that are giving him problems, and he's got to figure that picture out.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Nix from the gun. Throws into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted! And the Dolphins get the football as he makes his third interception of this season. Well, no doubt there was some doom and gloom on the sideline following their interception, right? But a little bit of new life now as their defense picks him up, gets it right back for him.
Hey, I am all for a nice little game of one-upmanship between these two defenses. You picked on a guy off, fine. We'll answer right away. See how you follow that up.
And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. Here's a chain up the middle. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Hey, range is not an optional feature for middle linebackers in today's game. It's a prerequisite for the job. And this guy definitely has it. Followed that play from the start, and he ended it with a loss.
And he rips off good yardage, but it will not move the chains.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
To the left side, it's pulled in by Waddle. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. Offense staying out there. It's 4th and 1. They're going Taylor. And he's brought down for a loss. And that run won't come close. That's a turnover on downs.
You know, it's almost like the defense heard that call in their helmet themselves. They dialed up the perfect blitz to encircle and cut off that run. And the reward is getting off the field.
He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's going to go down right along midfield stripe. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Straight ahead with Williams. 16 yards on the play. And the Broncos will have a first down.
Some backs are easier to tackle than others. Some, well, they just choose violence. They look for those opportunities to bust through tackles and keep those legs pumping.
First down, and they go right back to it. And finally, they bring him down. He shook off a couple of defenders there on a nice pickup. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up. Nix. He's on the move. And the coverage just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up.
You hear so many programs all around the league talk about it's all about the ball. It's all about the ball. Well, discretion, but a part of valor in a lot of cases. And right there, he understood it's all about the ball, and I'm not going to risk a turnover wisely throwing it away.
He's got it deep downfield. And this one's stopped at the 3-yard line. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
They'll look to run with Williams. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
That's got to be so frustrating for the runner. You're fighting the good fight. You even rip through a tackle to stay afloat, but the blocking can't buy you enough time or room to even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Now from the 6 after that last play. Here's 2nd and goal. They try again with Williams. And he's stopped just a little short of the goal line. He's down to the 2. Give him 4 yards, and they're sitting on 3rd and goal now.
Well, you haven't given up the goal line yet, but this offense is moving closer and closer. Now might be the time defensively to get a little more aggressive, try to stick them with the loss, and make a difficult 4th down decision.
Back to throw it. And he gets in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos now trailed by just a point in the 4th. The kick is good, so this game now hinging on every possession as we're tied up in the fourth. The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. Washington now to return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Wright running out of the gun. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down.
I'll tell you what, Kay, one of the things I'm most proud of coming out of broadcast are my O-line buddies that will hit me up during the game and say thank you. Thank you for finally showing some love and giving some light to what those big boys are doing up front. I got to play with some of the best to do it. I got to see it up close and personal. Because of it, I'll never forget it. And they just showed up on that run.
Nothing for him on that play as we've hit the 2-minute warning. 2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. Tua now from the gun. Launches one deep downfield. Oh my goodness, it's intercepted. Picked off Brandon Jones. And the Broncos get it back after making their 3rd first-half interception.
You know what this is, Kate? This is the practice field coming to life. Really on both sides of the ball. Right, you watch defensive coaches preach all the time, and they work on these returns to get to the near sideline, everybody to get a block. And then for those offensive players to show the effort to go chase that down so it's not a pick six, yeah, it stinks for the offense. But that was the practice field coming to life for everybody to see.
And as they bring him down, let's check the penalty flag. But, partner, they say there's holding on every play. You just got to look for it, right? That time, though, we did not have to look too hard. He'll look to throw it. Has him on the quick hitter. And he gets this beyond the midfield stripe and onto the Dolphins side of the field.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
It's taken in by Williams. And he's short of the 1st after a mild gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Let's see what they draw up on a 3rd and 7. Here he is to throw. That's caught for the 1st. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They're all set up for the game winner. Let's see how they approach it, starting with this 1st and goal. Here's Estime up the middle. And it's a gain down to the 5-yard line. Now the Dolphins call a timeout. It's their 1st. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. 2nd and goal coming up, 5 yards to the end zone. They'll go again with Estime. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again. Miami calls a timeout here. It's 2nd. Still 1 more in their pocket to use.
Well, now things get a little dicey for this offense. 1 down left before a big decision to make. You continue to try running it against a front that stopped you, or are you now forced to put the ball in the air? I know that was a kick he could make in his sleep, but with the game on the line, he delivered.
The kicking unit on now for the Broncos, and they're ready to send it away. Washington now to return. Look at this out of the bag of tricks. He's brought down at what looks like the 24-yard line. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Setting up to pass. Trying to push it deep downfield. And that one hits the ground incomplete. A single second left now on the clock.
You know, I don't fault that look at all, Kate, downfield. It was just an excellent defensive play to deny him the ball and knock it away. That is good on good.
One final shot here. He connects on the deep shot. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. So the Broncos ride out of here with a win on the road. And there was no easing up. It took some white knuckling until the very end, but their defense carried that small lead through to the finish line as they escape with a victory. So that puts a bow on this one. For my partner Brock Heward and everyone involved on our crew, I'm Kate Scott signing off. This has been another presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. The Broncos are winners as we say so long from Miami.
What you talking about? Let's do something else with that. That's what she said.
Like damn, why I get a like Aaron? I'm a drop top. The sun won't burn when it lit like what, but the stripes ain't earned. I'ma get it right now, I ain't waiting no turn. Got a brand new house, tryna avoid my hurt. About 6 point something in the field like church. Or the hood got whack and the set went turn. Got a 488 in the glide like Kurt. I've been living off golf on the last few deals. When the night check came and I still got chills. Hit a 2K lick, I ain't even go pro. Got a boss outlet, now I'm smelling like goat. Call me Ice Cube, baby, where they sit on my chain. Heard a lame tryna play up my name when I'm 23 to it. And I'm going no brain, going dumb with these hundreds in my thumb. Got stank. Out here, everything come free. I ain't never met God, but I bet he know me. Put the money in a set of down them streets to the boy alley hooping. I ain't riding on fleek. Got a Porsche light skin in the ceiling, got peeled. I was 20 plus young when got real. Young black boy running, got me out of that field. Better living off game, you should get it on film. I ain't never your kind, late but I'm really on time. Girl, what you put in your mind, I ain't digging your sign. True for that mine, hurt but I made it out fine. Still in my prime, bro, really outline. Talk like you Tony, I'll grind, throwing 20 on 9. How you living on spine, bro, better off dying. Man, you got nerve, bro, need to get a bird. And I'ma get it off first, find a way you ain't surf. You looking all hurt, funny till your ego got nerve. Boy, I made it all worse, woke up looking like work. 150 lay on my shirt, 20 lay on my teeth. Boy, I make an M in my sleep, everything I want in my reach. I'ma run it off tops, wonder where I've been pulling off lots. 454, I'ma keep it on stock. Bezel with the ticker on rocks. Things I tell me what I ain't got. Get it right now where I got it back then. Number one stunner, but the level on. Raised by the gang with a meal like Philly with a watch 250 and a so silly. When the door got closed, I ain't feel too bad. I'ma run mine up, I'ma have some stash. Now you in a raw purse, but you going outside. Now you on the couch surfing, you keep a little rash. Living out his backpack, need to get it back. Got a grade double R and you need both lanes. Got a dollar to his name, but he all gang. Where you all on my when I find that strange. He's playing with the fire, but his get burned. But your boy got spit when the light got turned. Got a dog crack when the boy won't learn. Big racked up shorty when the block gets shurned. Always sorry when the cap don't work. Got the butterfly doors and the fly like bird. And I love my but I ain't them nerd like damn. Why pie get like yarn? 2 in, 2 up, back ends, booked up, look up, I'm flying, yeah I'm free now, see now, society's time.